It's here on the Savvy Investor radio show and podcast, now on YouTube as well. So we got the cameras rolling. That way you can see this great information, and you can also take it with you wherever it is that you go with the podcast. 866-597-1040. That's 866-597-1040 to reach out to Mike Kinnett, to Ryan Herbert, and the entire team at Prostatis, because that's what you get. You get a team helping you to and through retirement, because their goal is to help you grow, keep, and distribute your wealth in the most tax-efficient manner possible. So lots going on here. Glad you are with us. So at age 66, illusionist David Copperfield certainly doesn't need the work, of course, even with a net worth of about $2 billion. It's with a B. Can you believe that? $2 billion. That's amazing.
As a magician? Oh,
yeah.
Man, that's just absolutely incredible. Good for him.
You're right. I mean, instead of making stuff disappear, he's making stuff up here, and that's a lot of money. He still performs about 18 shows a week in Vegas. CBS News a morning asked him why he continues to work. Listen to this.
But I like it, I really enjoy it. I'm fortunate to walk out there, and people are kind of happy to be there. And some people actually need to be there. People are in the front row, and I can see in their face, take me away. I need to dream.
Look at that. Obviously, he's into what he's doing, but he sees the people. He feeds off their energy. He knows that when they're there, they're laughing, they're having fun. They've forgotten about life for a while. And that's what drives him. You guys have to see that with your clients. I mean, I'm sure you guys help a lot of your clients retire. They don't need to work. They follow Mike's 3-bad-day rule. If they don't want to work after 3 days, their boss ticks them off, they can get out of there, but they continue to work because they love what they do.
Yep. That's kind of the reason that Mike and I do it is seeing the satisfaction or the relief on people's faces when they come in and they sit down, and we're talking about, well, when do you want to retire? How much do you want to, how much do you want to have to retire? And sometimes the response is, well, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to retire. And, when Mike and I sit down with them, because we've gathered all the information, we've had conversations before they come in and sit down, and we say, all right, here's when you said you wanted to retire. So here's what it looks like when you can retire at 65 or 66 or whatever your number is. But, and here's what happens. Here's how much money we're spending. Here's how much money you're using. But if you want to retire earlier and make these slight adjustments, here's what retirement could look like for you if you want to retire tomorrow. And I always go back to Bonnie. Bonnie is probably, I don't want to say my favorite client, but she is one of my favorite clients because she really just, committed 100% to the plan when we were talking. So, for those of you not familiar, Bonnie came to me way back in, I want to say 2012. We were doing her taxes, and every single year I would ask her, hey, Bonnie, when are you going to retire? When do you want to retire? Because she was 57, I think, when it was 2012. And every single year I'd ask her that. And then finally we got to 2015. And I asked her, she said, Bonnie, when are you going to retire? And she said, Ryan, you always ask me that question, but I just assume that I'm going to just pretty much continue to work until I'm unable to do so. And Bonnie worked in the accounting side of T. Rowe Price. So she worked for a large mutual fund company, but she wasn't involved in any of the investment side of things. So it wasn't really her world. And the reason she was thinking that was, I've worked at T. Rowe Price my entire life. I've never been married. I don't have any kids. So, when it comes to retirement, the only type of income that I'm going to have is just my Social Security, and then whatever I've saved inside of my 401k, and whatever I've saved outside of that. So, I don't think I have enough money. I don't think I'm ever going to retire. So I said to Bonnie, let's bring me all the statements, bring me everything. Let me look at the entire picture for you, because as I was only doing her taxes, I kind of had an idea of what was there, because I could see her W-2. I could see how much money went into her 401k. I could see her 1099 from her brokerage account. I could see the dividends there. So I had an idea of kind of what was going on. And so I sat down and I ran all the numbers out for Bonnie. And I said, hey, you know what? I got great news. You can retire tomorrow if you want. And I think she was 59 or 60 at that point.
She just gave you a big kiss?
Look of like shock on her face. It wasn't so much relief as it is most people. It was this story of shock. And I was like, you can retire tomorrow. You've done a great job. You have money in a Roth account. You have money in your 401k. You have money in a brokerage account, and you've been buying all this T. Rowe stock over the years. So you have money in all these different places, and based upon what you're spending and how much you're going to have coming in Social Security, there's enough money there to give you the income stream that you need to have for the rest of your life.
So let me stop you right there, because you just dropped a bomb on her, and a good bomb. What was her reaction? Man, you can retire, Bonnie. You can do this. That's big news. That's life-changing news.
It was a shock to her. She, like I said, she had always thought that I'm never going to be able to retire. And here I am saying, hey, go tell your boss I'm out of here. That type of thing.
Peace out, man.
Yeah. So, it probably took her 5 or 6 months, I would say, of continually talking to me. Are you sure? Let's look at the numbers. Because she was an accountant. She wanted to understand all the numbers. And so, eventually what I was telling her was, Bonnie, you are working now because you want to. Everything that you're earning now, everything that you're saving now is just extra money. You're going to be leaving it behind to, whomever it is. There's no kids. There's not a spouse that you need to make sure is taken care of. There's no kids you need to take care of. All we're doing is leaving money to nieces and nephews and some charities. So unless your goal is to leave these people as more money than, what you have now, there's not really a point in working anymore. So we gave her that 3 bad day rule of knowing that I'm working because I want to work. I'm not working because I have to be here. If they ask me to do something that I don't want to do for more than 3 days in a row, I can quit.
Yeah.
And eventually, like I said, it took her about 5 months. And then she said, that's it. I'm done. Ryan, I'm retiring. Let's put this plan in action. Let's get the income going so that I have the income coming in. So when we had that conversation, I said, okay, Bonnie, that's great. Here's what the income's going to look like now. But since you have all this money in other accounts, let's enact a tax plan. Let's start doing Roth conversions, because you have money in all these different accounts. We can layer the income in on your tax return. And for Bonnie, I talk about her all the time. And oftentimes radio listeners come in and they say, I want the Bonnie plan. I get emails from clients and put me on the Bonnie plan. Because for Bonnie, she needed to have about $105,000 worth of income after taxes. That let her live the lifestyle she wanted. It let her donate the money to the charities that she donated, support the people she wanted to support. And so it took us from 2015 all the way up until 2021 of putting this tax plan in place, converting money every single year, taking money from these various sources. And then once we hit 2021, that's when the plan was realized. And then just last year, we did her taxes for 2022, and I can't remember 21's numbers, but for 2022, she had a little over $109,000 of income between Social Security, money coming out of the IRA, dividends and interest, and money coming in from her Roth account. And all together, between all the different sources of income that Bonnie had, she paid $952 in federal and state taxes combined.
So what was her income again?
It's a little north of 109,000. I was like a 109,850 something, I think.
So 109 grand. And what was the tell me again, because it's hard to believe.
$952 in federal and state income taxes.
But see, Ryan, you just made the point. She didn't do it overnight. You guys didn't do it overnight. You can't do it overnight. It's just impossible. That took a long time and a lot of planning. Is that why I saw this? And by the way, remember this, the Bonnie plan. Is that why there's a new survey? Americans are retiring earlier than expected. It found that on average that they initially thought that they would retire at age 63, but instead left the workforce at age 61 and a half. Is that because more people are heeding what you and Mike Kinnett talk about, that they're creating a plan for retirement?
I think so. And I think it's just the fact that people are I've worked so hard. Why am I going to continue to do this? I've done a great job of saving money. If I have enough money, what's the point? Life is short. I want to go out and enjoy retirement. I want to live the lifestyle that I want. And it's when I sit down with clients and we talk about, all right, you said you wanted to retire at 66. You're 60 years old. You can retire in a year.
Wow.
Why not do that? Why not go out? What good is all this money that you have if, at age 70, you're not able to do everything that you could do at 61? Why not take the time now? Explore the possibility of, can I retire now? Can I retire earlier? So that way I can enjoy my retirement life. That's the number one thing. Enjoyment in retirement, making sure that if I'm working right now, I'm working because I want to work, not because I have to work. Get yourself that 3 bad day rule. Give Mike and myself and our team here at Prostatis, give us a call, 866-597-1040, 866-597-1040, and let us put together an income plan for you and hopefully get you that Bonnie plan as well to help get you into the lowest tax brackets legally possible in retirement. 866-597-1040, 866-597-1040.
Well, let's do this. Let's make it extra easy for our listeners, for our viewers right now. If you call in, we've got teammates standing by to take your call. When you call in, tell them that you want the Bonnie plan. The Bonnie plan. Just say that. Hey, I want the Bonnie plan. They know what I'm talking about, and they're going to put you in contact with Mike and Ryan. They're going to get some information from you, and they're going to get you started on that. Again, so call 866-597-1040, 866-597-1040, and ask for the Bonnie plan. The Bonnie plan, the Bonnie plan, the Bonnie plan. And you can also go online to the SavvyInvestorRadio.com. Again, that's the SavvyInvestorRadio.com, and get started today on your income analysis and full retirement plan. And that is, again, extra special for you listening right now, because they want to make sure that you can retire and retire successfully. 866-597-1040 and online at the SavvyInvestorRadio.com. And don't forget about the podcast. If you are enjoying the show, if you want to continue to get more great information like this, you can go to the podcast, the Savvy Investor Podcast, and you can do that by following us wherever you get your podcast from. We're also on Facebook and YouTube as well. Listen, watch on YouTube, like, follow, and all that good stuff, and share that with your friends.